only wanna dance. My dengue was master, only what they class. Swagga, class, in your class. My dot, dance, my dengue was master. What they were class, what was swag. Okay, anapiga. Enquanto com swag. Vocês e coça. What was swag. Okay, anapiga. Hello. Enquanto com swag. Vocês e coça.
We've been waiting for this moment for a while now, and yes, it's now happening. Swagga is in Mombasa, and we are cruising with him, getting to know more about his music. And this is a music listening party, so it's more of listening the music, getting to know all about the music, and also knowing about him as we're doing the interview.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Swagga, African Avatar, the Afro Stars listening station. Today, you guys are going to be hearing a lot more about Swagga, what he's about, and why he is the African Avatar.
We hope you guys are going to have fun. And I would like to welcome you for this tour. So this tour we are going to get to know more about Swagga, more about his music. And for the last 5 weeks, he's been trending in your radio station. He's been trending top 10. Actually, then he became number 1 for the last 4 weeks. So we hope you're going to get more about, to know more about him, and also to get to know more about the team. So karibuni sana, and feel free. Na mujitume na msiogope.
Swagga. No. Swagga. No. Swagga. No. Okay, I love the energy. Okay, I'm Alfayo Juma, the social media manager of Swagga, and I manage his daily affairs on social media, the metaverse we call it. The reason as to why we are here is because the media says the agenda, and I hope we are here because we want you to help us sell this agenda. We want you guys to help us make it known out there that Swagga is here, and Swagga is here to make a difference. So that is all for now from me, and thank you for coming.
Thank you so much. So yeah, I think back to Swagga. To the viewers who are watching this for the first time, I'd like you to tell us where are you from, and what typically inspired you to make the music that you create.
Okay, good. I'm from the Caribbean. From the Caribbean is a lovely set of islands. Particularly, I'm from Trinidad and Tobago, and we make music, of course, in the African diaspora in the Caribbean. We listen to African music. We have, through the slave trade, brought some of the music to the Caribbean, and we have formed it into our own genre. But now, the Caribbean and Africa is getting closer, very much closer, and my idea is to put the music of the genres of the Caribbean and Africa together, whether it's Afrobeat, whether it's gengetone, whether it's Amapiano. As you can see, there's Amapiano, and we are mixing those with the genres of the Caribbean so that we create a new genre and unity between our peoples of the Caribbean and Africa. Because of the way that Mombasans behave like Caribbean people, I think I have an affinity. So I want to use Mombasa as my African platform and Kenya as my takeoff platform. So effectively, you can call me a Kenyan artist because I'm going to put together collaborations with a lot of Kenyan musicians. Because I feel that Kenya has a lot to offer, and they're missing out. And if anyone can come and promote Kenya and Kenyan music, Don is going to be that person. So I'm going to work a lot more with other collaborations and other artists to promote Kenya in Africa and outside internationally. I believe that Kenya has a lot a lot of. I like the warmth of the people. I especially like Mombasa, and I feel at home, very much at home here. I feel so much as though I'm in the Caribbean, because we have beaches, we have sea, we have oceans, we have rivers, and nice vegetation. So we love that. And the people, the musicality. I love the musicality of Kenyans. It has something special.
What can you say about the music difference between Kenya, Africa as a whole, and Caribbean? Can you compare the music business between the two countries?
Yeah, in the Caribbean, we play soca and reggae. Those are the two genres mainly, and a little bit of zouk from the French Caribbean, which is the Martinique and Guadeloupe, etc. If you check out as a musician, the tones and the beats, the drum beats, they're very similar to Africa. So before, when you had, the original Afrobeat from someone like Fela, right? You'll find that it has a lot of closeness to calypso. Calypso, which is the genre of speech and talking about events, goes back to the old griots, griots, the griots in West Africa, who told stories. So there's a similarity there in calypso, telling stories. Then soca now came out of a mix between the two peoples of Trinidad, which was Indians and Africans. So they created a tone called soca, which is the soul of calypso, mixing like Indian Bhangra with African rhythms. So here you have a high percentage of Indians as well. So I'm looking to exploit that as well. The Bhangra music together with the African music and soca, which I'm doing already. I've created a genre, soca makossa, and we do Afro spiritual, Afro gospel. You'll hear it in all of my songs from the first album. The first album is called African Township, and the second one is Waterbed Algorithms Metaverse. So you'll hear and get some taste of that today as we cruise.
We can see social media right now has impacted the music business. And for you, Swagga Don, how is it maybe done for you? Because we know that right now social media works for the artists to display their songs outside there and maybe get some brands to work with them. So
yeah. Well, I'll be looking forward to that from you all, because social media, we hadn't started to work on social media until I came and put a team together. Now that we have a team, and you are now part of that team, I'm putting together a team here, a team in Nigeria, a team in South Africa, and I have to thank Captain Alfayo and Rita for putting it together. And then in South Africa, Melody here is also doing the same. So for me, social media, you have to interact with your social media providers, the people who make the determination. If you like what you hear and you like what you see, you're going to talk about it. And I hope that you will like what you hear and like what you see and continue to talk about it. Put it out. So, I think so. So she could tell you what is my nickname.
What do they call you?
He's called Basharia.
No, I don't know what Masharia means,
Okay.
but I will take it. If she says it's Masharia, I am Masharia. That's good. Maybe it's a name that means I'm tough, is it?
No. Didn't she tell you?
You're Basharia.
Masharia.
You know they call you Basharia now.
Okay.
And I'd like to maybe wind up 2 more questions before I wind up. Maybe I give my friends a platform if they have questions.
Yeah.
First, I'd like to know the kind of music that you do, because some people are watching this video for the first time. Maybe tell them the kind of music that you do, the inspiration behind the music that you do.
Okay. First and foremost, you may or may not know that I died in 2019.
Yeah.
Right?
I was also to ask that. How comes?
Yeah. Well, it's a long story, but if you read, I have one of your newspapers did an article, The Standard, so you can read it. I can send it to you because it's a long story.
Okay.
However, after coming back, I think the inspiration had to do with African Renaissance, African spirituality, African fashion, African culture, multi-African music. You know, we have everything to give to the world, and that's our gift as Africans. So I think the inspiration when I came back is to promote everything African. Dress African, sing and multi-sing with African influences, mix African beats, put on African fashion, eat African food, right? African culture. Every mask that I have is symbolic, right? So I'm wearing the art of Africa. It's part of my persona and it's part of my brand. And promote, as you see, promoting African music all the way. This is a new brand, promoting Amapiano.
Yeah, true.
Right? So my inspiration, I believe, came back after I returned back to Earth, and they more or less, I think, sent me to do that. It was an experience.
I think I'm hearing this for the first time.
Yeah, it is an experience, and I will call it the spirit of Africa. They call me the spirit of Africa. So I've come back with the spirit of Africa in me. That is really what it is, and with the spirit of our ancestors. They are good people. They talk to me.
What message do they have for you?
Well, the message I have for me, I think everything that I have in messages is created in the songs. So if you listen to Ale Ale, they came to me, a host of 1,000 Angels, the 1st of January last year, 2022, at 3 a.m. and sang Ale Ale to me. And I now quickly got up and recorded it. So I have 3 versions of Ale Ale because of the inspiration. I have the original, which is gospel, Afro gospel. Then I have Afro spiritual, and then I have Afro Amapiano. So I'm sure that
And you should know that the
Captain.
original one was done in Kenya.
Yeah, the original one was done in Kenya, and Rita here was responsible for all the locations and the management of the project. Yeah. So I promoted that spirituality in Kenya from my video. All the scenes that you see in Ale Ale is from Kenya. Creativity is something that you cannot determine. Yeah? You're inspired by events, you're inspired by emotions, you're inspired by things that happen to you, right? I think it's a combination of all for me, but God gave me a gift to write. So first, before I even sing, I can write. I can write poetry, and then I can even turn that poetry into music. Yeah? So the inspiration is, what am I feeling? Right? Okay, Ale Ale was a dream. One of the things you talked about.
Yeah.
Ale Ale was a dream. But it was not a dream because they came to me, yes, in a dream, but they woke me up. And they sang to me. And they sang Ale Ale, Alleluia. I went and I had to get up quickly. I had to quickly go into the music head and capture what they sang to, because they actually sang the lyrics and the music. So I had to quickly record it before I forget it, and I did. Then you may have inspiration from love, you know. We all as Africans love love, and we love to love, right? And you may create something about that environment, you know, or that person. And it touches you so much, you are forced to write. And when I say forced to write, you are inspired, that is the right word.
Yeah.
You are inspired to write. Then it could be something that pains you. Like, for example, if I look and see what is happening to my people, I've recreated Rivers of Babylon, which you may know. I've resung it, but I've resung it in a way that appeals to the pain and suffering that our people go through as Africans, having gone through slavery. So each of my songs is inspired by some event, and I have to say event, that takes place in my life or that takes place around me. And therefore, if you're a poet, you are actually a messenger. People don't realize that poets are messengers. So the skill that you have, which I never used for a long time, and maybe that's why they sent me back. They said, well, we gave you all these skills as a messenger, and you never used it. Go back and tell my people and do it. So that is what creates music.
Maybe as we wind up, I'd like you to give a message to your fans for watching this video. And maybe quickly to the ladies so that you can.
So you see, gentlemen, you see what's happening here. The ladies have dominated today. You notice she didn't say, let me pass you on to the gentlemen. Am I going to have a no? Am I going to have a no? I'm not going to have, you see these boys, they're very intimidated by these women. You see, but anyway, yes. To my fans, thank you so much for supporting Video Lover, which was the one that created this excitement about Swagga in Mombasa, having been on #1 at Salty Pwani for the past 5 weeks. And it has created a roller coaster. And thanks to people like Trish from Baraka FM, Alfayu from Baraka as well, Captain, who is from Kaya, and so many others who embraced my music and started playing it in Mombasa. We wanted to go on to Nairobi, Eldoret, etc., but that's you to do it now. You to encourage other fans. So to them, I'm happy for what you have done, and I look forward to having a show and a performance for the fans that we will plan for the future. This year is just to thank all of you from social media for picking up and writing and talking about Swagga and to the radio stations. So this is just a celebration to say fans, but we will do something for the fans as well. I don't mind putting on a free concert for the fans, so that they get to know my music and my performance.
Thank you so much. Then, the message?
Well, you have the other guys
Any
here.
other question from anyone else? Perhaps you feel like one or two things you would like to ask?
Yes, thank you very much for choosing Mombasa. And maybe the viewers who are watching us today, we might want to know what is all about the face.
The face?
Yes.
Okay. There are two things about the face. One, I'm promoting African art. That's the first thing. I'm promoting African art. But there's a slightly secret, confidential aspect to it as well. My identity at the moment, because of who I am and what I do, I cannot reveal to people who I am and why I am and what I am. It's very, very sensitive. I can't explain any further than that. But put it this way, my status cannot be revealed because of what I do. It has very sensitive consequences. But because I'm a musician and because I'm promoting Africa and African Renaissance, I chose to do it in a way that I can still be visual, but visually impactful with African art as part of my list of things I do anyway in terms of promoting Africa. So you see my art and you see African art on my face. You see African art in the way I dress. You see African art in the food that I eat. You see African art in my spirituality, right? And you see Africa in my music.
Thank you very much.
Maybe to add on that, the face mask makes him unique. It is his identity. You can't relate him to Masauti, you can't relate him to Sauti Sol or to any other artist. He's Swagga, and you know him because of the face mask. Why it for him to remove the face mask here, you wouldn't. You just know him as a normal guy without. Now, because he has the face mask, you can identify him from this other guy, from the rest, from you, or from all of you. He's the Don.
Thank you very much. The last one, maybe if given an opportunity to stay in Africa and given an opportunity to stay in Kenya, would you mind?
Of course, I will stay in Africa. Are you going to give me 4 wives or 10?
More than that.
Oh, wow. Are you going to give me seafood every day?
Yes.
Oh, fantastic. Well, done.
So,
Done.
in addition, maybe,
Eh?
I don't know, maybe in your country,
Yeah.
you also have, are you in a relationship?
No, not at the moment. No.
But if you come to Africa, you get more than that.
Yeah, that's fine.
How
When
you
you say,
manage that? How you manage 10 and you're not even having one there?
no, that was a joke. I think I think African women are queens, and I would like to treat them like a queen. You know, so if someone is special to me, that person will be very special, and I'll treat that person very special as a queen. Because Swagga Don is a don and he's a king. You notice? I'm a king. I'm wearing a king's yeah.
Thank you so much.
Anybody?
Maybe the next country you
Thank you so much for your time.
Hold on.
the next country you want to visit next.
Well, I will have to visit South Africa because I just shot 2 videos there. You'll see it later. And with building the team in South Africa with Melody here being in charge, her real name is M4. And by the way, she is a queen because she's from the Venda royal family. Yeah, she's a princess, you know. So, and a true version. So therefore, yes, I will have to spend more time in South Africa because I now have done music in South Africa. I've done about 5 piano tracks in South Africa. Yeah. I've done about 5.
Women from Kenya.
Yes. Please, I'm coming. Yeah, I will be going to South Africa next because I've started to build my team in South Africa. I have music that I'm doing. I have videos that I've done, and you will get a sneak preview of them later on. So South Africa is next. Because why? The 2 emerging music now after Afrobeats is Gengetone and Amapiano. And I want to be ahead of the game. I want to be with the guys who are doing Gengetone and Amapiano so I can be promoting this side of Africa. We have enough in West Africa, and good for them. They've done it. But now we need to show the world that we have other music in Africa.